up, party people, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going over my top 10 picks from Shop Miss A. So basically all this stuff is $1. And I actually just placed an order this morning, so I'll probably be kicking myself by the time I actually get around to editing this video and actually when I get my order in, because I'll probably find some more things that I would put on this list. But this is just my top 10 from what I've tried this far, because there's a lot of duds on there. There's a lot of really good stuff that's surprisingly good, but there's also a lot of duds. So hopefully this video helps give you some direction and helps you avoid some duds and helps avoid wasting money. If you like videos like this where I talk about my favorite products from one brand or a website or whatever, then make sure you give it a thumbs up if you want to see more like it, and subscribe to my channel. Turn the notification bell on to always see my videos so we can always hang out. And without further ado, let's talk about my top 10 favorite picks from Shop Miss A. So the first product I have is one that may be premature to put into this video because I've only worn it a couple of times, but I wore this for my full face $1 makeup video, which should be up before this one. So if it is, I'm gonna put it over here on the card. This pretty much built up to a full coverage, and it just looks so nice and satiny on my skin. It had a beautiful skin-like satiny kind of finish, and it kind of had a little bit of luminosity to it to where it just made my skin look really healthy and radiant. I wore this all day long, and I did get a tad bit shiny in my T-zone, very, very minimal though, to a point where it's almost not even worth mentioning. But this looks so good on my skin, and I had a very, very good makeup day when I wore this. For $1, you can't go wrong. Product number 2 is one that I'm not going to spend a lot of time on just because there's not really a whole lot to say about it, but I do recommend it. I think it's a really cool little product just to have for $1. This is the AOA Studio face mask applicator. So I've always wanted one of these little silicone or rubbery applicators to apply my face mask instead of using my fingers or using an old makeup brush that I don't like, just because it's not going to absorb product because it is silicone. Yeah, it's just a little silicone-y kind of doodad, and you just wipe your face mask on and rinse it off, wash it with some dish soap or whatever. So yeah, for $1, definitely worth it. So the next product I have is one that really shocks me that I like, because I've tried other products like it in the past and I just didn't really get on board with it. It wasn't really my gig, but this thing is killer. This is the microfiber wonder blender. Yeah, it's just the type of sponge that it's kind of shaped like the Real Technique sponge, where it's flat on one side. It's kind of fuzzy. It kind of feels like a cottony kind of fabric in a way. And I've tried the one from Juno & Company back when that was the first one of its kind, and I just didn't really like it. It just didn't really do a whole lot for me. It dried way too fast, and then it just kind of dried out my foundation. But this thing applies foundation so beautifully, and I really feel like it maximizes the coverage. It does mattify a little bit, it does kind of absorb some luminosity and shine from your foundation, but a lot less than the Juno & Company one that I tried a while back. So I love this thing so much. It's so soft, it's so cushiony and pillow-like. It just feels like a dream bouncing your foundation out. I will say I did mess up, and I used one of my exfoliating soap bars to clean it. And I don't know if you can see that right there, but it kind of took off some of the microfiber fabric. So yeah, I wouldn't really recommend an exfoliating bar soap to clean your sponges to begin with, but with my other sponges, if I'm gentle, then I can get away with it and it doesn't tear them up or anything. But this one definitely started it kind of destroyed it a little bit, and I actually bought 4, I believe, this morning. So yeah, I'm stocking up on these. Which brings me to another one of their sponges that I could probably put these into the same number, but I don't know, I want to put them separately just because they're both special in their own way. So this is the super soft wonder blender, and this is also the beveled style. There's a lot of sponges I've tried, especially cheaper ones, that when you're blending your face makeup, it just feels like you're beating your face with a rock, and it's just so uncomfortable, and it also just doesn't blend things out properly. But this one blends things out so beautifully, and it's so light and airy and soft and cushiony, and whenever you get it wet, it definitely does inflate a lot. It's not one that just, ooh, it's just gonna barely get a little bit bigger. No, it gets huge. And dare I say I like it better than my Real Technique sponge. I think I do. So number 5 is a tinted brow gel. So I love tinted brow gels, especially for those lazy days where I don't feel like defining my brow with a pencil, or really spending a lot of time on making little hair-like strokes and all. I just want a little definition and a little bit of color just to kind of liven my face up and just frame my face better. And this thing is very, very good. So this is the AOA Studio Go Brow Fiber Gel. I have the shade Taupe. Yeah, you have a super tiny little brow wand, which is, it's a perfect shape. It's not too thick, it's not too thin, it's not too chunky. It looks really natural, but like I said, it just kind of gives you some more definition and color to where it just makes your face look more put together, even if you don't have a lot going on. But I love this thing so much. This is actually my second tube of this. Number 6 is another one that I tried in my full face of $1 makeup video. These are the Shadow Armor eyeshadow fallout patches. So these are $1. You get 14 patches in here. And I actually have some that I was gonna try to reuse because I'm cheap. So yeah, it's just one of these things that you put under your eye and it catches the fallout, and also just kind of gives you like a border, like a little barrier to where, you know, you can make it more sharp. But these are so sticky. The only other ones I've tried that are like that are the e.l.f. Line and Define eye tapes, which I do like, but they don't have the best adhesive on them. Like, they just don't really stick down. It just seems like any kind of oil on your skin just makes them pop up, and I feel like I have to hold them down the entire time I'm applying my makeup. So these, I don't have to worry about that. Like, they stick down extremely well and they stay put, and they make your skin feel nice and taut. So especially if you're someone like me that has hooded eyes or like semi-hooded eyes, and usually I have to hold my skin taut just so there's not lines and stuff in my eyeshadow and my eyeliner. Like, I don't have to do that with these because they keep my skin so tight. Next up is a concealer that completely blew me away. This is the AOA Studio Liquid Concealer. So this is a super full coverage, very, very opaque, long wearing concealer. It is more on the matte side. Like, it can be a tad bit drying, especially if you have a dry under eye. I find that if I use a very small amount and I don't like cake it on, I don't really have any issues. But if you do apply a lot, it can look kind of cakey and kind of dry. But literally all you need is like 1 or 2 dots of this. This is so pigmented and opaque, and whenever I've worn this, I haven't really experienced any kind of like creasing or like an abnormal amount of creasing. It kind of reminds me of the e.l.f. 16-hour camo concealer, like the original formula, where it's matte, but it's not as matte and drying as like Tarte Shape Tape. Yeah, it blends out really well. No issues with like sticking or dragging or pulling or anything. And it kind of sets on its own. So if you do have a dry under eye, then you may not even have to set it with a setting powder. Yeah, such a good formula. The next thing I have is a lip product. So this is the AOA Studio Wonder Lip Liner, and this is the shade Hero. This is the only shade I've tried, so I don't know if there's an inconsistency across different shades, but oh my God. I usually don't like wooden pencils like this. Like, there's only a couple of wooden pencil formulas I've liked. Usually they're really dry and draggy and stiff, and just, they're not creamy enough or pigmented enough. But this is so pigmented and creamy. Like, it has a little bit of waxiness to it too, but it's super long wearing. And this shade in particular, Hero, it works well with a lot of different tones. Like, it's one of those shades that pairs really well with lipsticks that are kind of hard to pair with. Like, it's kind of like a warm mauvey brown with also like a corally aspect to it, so it goes well with all those tones. Like, it goes well with brown tone lipsticks, mauve or pink tone lipsticks, peaches, corals. It's the weirdest kind of shade, which brings me to another lip formula that blew me away. I've said the same thing about everything. Obviously, I'm blown away by all this stuff because it's like $1. This is the AOA Studio. I'm pretty sure everything I'm talking about is from AOA Studio. AOA Studio is their in-house brand, and I just feel like out of all the things they offer, it's probably the highest quality stuff. Like, your best bet is with AOA Studio on the Shop Miss A website, but I'm not really sure exactly what this is called. This is just one of their matte lipsticks, I think they call them, but this is in the shade Shore. Like, paired with Hero, that lip liner, such a beautiful combination. But yeah, this is a really nice, like, how would you describe this? Kind of like a corally mauve nude. Like, it's like that lip liner where it's kind of an odd color to describe. Like, it's got multiple tones to it. I usually don't like matte finishes. I don't like any kind of matte lipstick. My lips are really dry and dehydrated, so I need glossiness. But it has this really nice, like, comfortable, moisturized satin kind of finish. And then last but not least, we have some blushes. These are the AOA Studio Cream Sheer Blush. If you're in the market for a good cream blush that actually stays put and gives you some glow, but it doesn't make you look oily and greasy, look no further. These things are so good. They have really, really pretty shades. I'm shocked at how good the shade selection is because most cream blushes don't have a very good shade selection. Like, it's just like typical shades, but they have nude shades. They have like, I think they have like reds. They have more purpley tones, berry tones. So I have Cozy, Cupid, and then Passion, which is a little bit more like neon, like a neon coral. I actually do want to swatch 1 or 2 of these. So this is the shade Cupid, so this is the more pink one. But I mean, as you can see, it does have a lot of like glossiness to it. So let's put it over here. And I mean, you could probably put these on your lips as well. I mean, I don't see why you couldn't. I haven't tried that yet, but they blend out really well. They soften and diffuse so nicely into the skin. But look at that shade. That is so beautiful. So then we have Cozy, which is more, a little bit more rustic, a little bit more murky, I guess you could say. So let's put it over here. So yeah, it has a little bit more of like a corally warmth to it. So look at that. So nice. And then while we're at it, what the hey, let's just do Passion as well. So this is one of those shades that, like, if you apply it the right way, blend it out properly, then it looks like your skin's just like you've been out in the sun and you kind of got a little burnt, but it's okay because it's cute. Yeah, they feel creamy but also kind of waxy. Like I said, they feel like a balm. Actually, you know what? Let's try putting one of these on. Let's put on Cupid, that pinky tone. Let's see what it looks like. Ooh, multitasker. Oh, wow, that's nice. Yeah, if you guys like this video, then make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next one. Mwah.